Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome to a traditional, I was about to say 8-4. It's been a while since we've done those. Best of 3 draft of Kaldheim on MTG Arena with your host, Travis Semulin Sowers. If you'd like to watch the drafts live or come and hang out, you can do so at twitch.tv/Semulin. I think I like the squirrel here. I don't think it's competing with much. I'd like to be green anyway. This is card advantage in green, which you don't often get. It's pretty good just with the Raven Wings, which I'll usually play anyway. You can put just about any equipment on it and still make it get through. And we don't have to play it. This pack less exciting. For a lot of reasons, frankly. Like, what do you even take here? Probably the Icy Tunnel? Icy Tunnel. A 5/5 is fine, but it's not a reason to be playing green. I need a reason to be playing green. A Pack Beast and a Snuggle for Skimfar is a reason to be playing green. This rune sucks. I don't want to play that rune. I'm just going to take the land and see what's actually open, and then we'll make our decisions. So this one has some options. I do like Curter, I like Glittering Frost, and I like Squash. Squash is bad if you're not enabling it. So we would need to be green or blue to play Squash. Reinforcements, I don't like Dwarven Reinforcements enough to second pick it. I'll play it sometimes, but I'm not going to go crazy over it. Glittering Frost enables an archetype. Squash does not. Rune of Might I like a lot better. Yeah, the Rune of Might is pretty dang good too, but that's assuming we're going to play the Toski. And like, if I take the Glittering Frost and green is even open adjacent, we can do more with it. But I think just by itself, Squash is actually the best card here, and I should just take it. There's a possibility we're not even playing green. So we've seen 2 Invasion of the Giants, which I don't think is great, but it's not bad. You guys like Bergstrider a lot more than I do. I like Bergstrider, but I want like 2. I think I would rather have the Invasion of the Giants. This starts to make things like the 7-drop playable. Like Vandal here. We first picked a green card. We've seen virtually no good green. Like, I think assuming that we're going to be green and playing the Toski is kind of crazy. I think we're getting slight indications that we could be doing giant things. But this is the pack where we'll actually know what's open. And as it turns out, it may be black. How do we feel about that? Strider into Strider wins a game? It can. It can. You need to have 5 mana and your opponent at a low enough life total. If we're going to truly draft what's open, I think we need to take this Feed the Serpent. If we're at a table where black is actually open, I'll play it. Good grief, give me some signals, will ya? I like Kinseekers in most blue decks. I just don't know what colors I'm supposed to be playing. I guess we could look at like blue-black splash for a Squash, potentially. That doesn't seem terribly crazy. Okay. So I think green and blue may actually be open. It took bloody long enough. But we've finally seen enough Bergstriders that we can start to talk about something. I would like to take the Glade Warden, but I think it's finally time for me to take a Bergstrider and say we're blue. I don't know what we're going to pair it with, but I know that it's going to be okay because we're playing blue. So like, we can pair it with red if that's open and get access to Squash and Invade the Giants. We can pair it with black, or we can pair it with green. Because at least Rune of Flight, a Bergstrider, a Kinseekers, and we have a Snowland is like something to start on a base. Crush the Weak is really good in Giants. Horizon Seeker is really good in Green X. CTW looks good. I don't know what CTW is. Maybe CTW is Crush the Weak. Okay. The Seeker would be in case we wanted to go 3 colors and one of those colors was green. I think we're moving into blue-red. And I think the table's kind of telling us we should probably do that. I've been notoriously down on Invasion of the Giants. I think it's actually okay. So I think I'm looking to do this unless something drastically pushes me off of it. Bind the Monster versus Glittering Frost. I like Bind the Monster. I'll play one. But I don't think we're supposed to be green right now. I could be wrong. I may regret this. I don't think it should wheel that far either. Part that just kind of blows my mind. But we'll figure this out. Good afternoon, Yaz. Heart the Realm's fine playable. I feel like I'm kind of picking blue cards by default, which is a little worrisome. Well, the thing about it is I can always find one later. Like if it's that open that it's wheeling all the way across the table and we want one, we'll get them. I am not sitting on a yoga ball. I am in fact not sitting at all. Sure, I don't mind having a Raven form in the size board. I mean, this guy's okay too if you're playing 2 Invasion of the Giants. So this is look for legendaries. I don't think I'm crazy about that. Do we just take the Doom Bolt and be like, okay, we did it? We're blue-red? I guess it's Demon Bolt. Easy? I don't think it's easy, but I think it is the call. I think we'd be happy with a Giant's Amulet too. Like, I think this is just what I'm doing now. This could lead to a Black Splash. We've some interest in having the duels anyway for this guy, but I don't think you necessarily need them. I don't think the Amulet's going to wheel. I also don't know that I want 2 Rune of Flights. Although I guess we could have a strategy of just pick up a bunch of decent 2s and 3s, Rune of Flight them, and then finish with big Giants. It's not crazy, but it does lead to, like, Nombos with Crush the Weak. But it is kind of hard to argue with this rune. I think it's one of the better ones. Binding of the Old Gods make me a little sad. Because that was the reason to be into the green stuff. Here I am looking at a Cinder Giant. Which I want. I just don't want to take it here. I don't mind a Shimmer Drift. It could lead towards a splash. But, like, I probably want 2 of these in the deck. Good Mana's good. I don't know if I can afford to do it. If we were going to take Good Mana, we may as well take the Binding. Yeah, this is where it's starting to hurt us, because I like, now all of a sudden it's green. It was green. It was always green. Is it too late for us to consider abandoning it? I don't think so. Because if it's supposed to be green, I can let the... Well, Squash is like... Is it, though? Because, like, Toski with double Rune of Flight's pretty dang good. I'm down with that. Like, most of my interaction is in red, and we've got another Squash, which is indicating to me I should continue down this track. It's making me nervous, though. But it does appear that red might actually be open. I'm concerned now that we don't actually have enough creatures. Gosh, I barely even want this one, but I think we have to take it. I need something that can bloody kill him. We could abandon red, but now we're getting like, hey, maybe red was actually open and it was a bit of a fluke. I don't think I'd want to play the Toski unless I was playing the Rune of Flights with it. I really don't want to play a counterspell either. Well, the challenge is we don't have any card advantage, and we're looking to win with just a few pieces here. We can dig through the deck pretty far, which I dig, but... Rune of Flight's kind of a big pull. I also think we've just got enough playables in blue that we probably have to run it. This might be more of a pack 4 deck. We could get some value off of the snow-covered mountain. We could also get some gems. Like, this is not helping the pull to green. It's mostly a pillar field Ogs. I mean, if I get one more, then this does something. Good grief. Oh, just in case. Having a rough day on the face of it, Johnny. I like this a lot better when you've got, like, things you can do. I may be looking to main deck a Brine Barrow Intruder. If the pod doesn't know what it's doing, then it looks like I don't know what I'm doing either. But it may just be a case of we've got a bunch of people doing 4-color shenanigans. Because if enough people don't know what they're doing, then no one knows what they're doing. This would normally be a Windmill Slam Basalt Ravager, but with the creatures we have, I don't know if it's actually doing anything. It's probably still the pick, but it's going to be a shock. It carries Rune of Flight pretty well, at least. We've got infinite Squash. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6 giants. I need a few more. I think it might be Bloodline on Giant, because I don't think I need another Squash. Well, normally I'd say we want this, but this guy's just pretty good, right? It's not like we're foretelling a bunch of stuff, but it is just a 3/3 flyer. Because the Mistwalker would be a little better otherwise, but I think we can get behind this. The creature curve is starting to fill up. I think it might be too, but if we can get a discount on any of these, I think we're happy. And I would pick a Behold the Multiverse pretty heavily. And seeing this leads me to be inclined that we might could find one. It could also lead to a situation where we play Bloodline Pretender and get to name Horse, which would be pretty funny. I do kind of need one more Snowland too, don't I? Yeah, I would say this is not a half bad Giants deck so far. I'm pretty happy with that. That's good enough. They can't all be amazing. I'd very much like it if they all were, but that is just not the world we're living in. Brown's not bad if we're already playing 2 Rune of Flights. Inseekers should still do some work. I think this filled itself in nicely. As we probably trim Depart the Realm and call it a deck. Maybe trim the Hawk if I don't get another Snowland. One of those two. You can only choose creature types that have been printed in Magic. Well, our 2-drop is most often going to be Demon Bolt, Foretold, Bind the Monster. Like, yeah, we could get run over. We do have a Rune of Speed in the size board. I don't think I need that. My creature count good enough that I can ignore that? We're at 12. I think I'd rather just have another Kinseekers then. And probably at this point trim Depart the Realm. Ooh, I was going to say this is an easy Snowland, but what about this Arcanist when I've already got double Doom Bolt and double Squash? That seems actively good. Now I may not need this dude. And we could cut the Hulk. I think I'd be pretty happy with that. I think I'd be very happy with that. I could see bringing this in if people are very aggressive. We got another Cinder Giant. I may actually want to play that. Well, I'd want to play that more if... I could just play it over the Undersea Invader. Fateful Stroke for the size board is fine. I'd want to play it more if I had some of the Seize the Spoils. So far, I think doing the draft while standing and gameplay while sitting is helpful. Yesterday's popsicle stand? I'm not sure what that means. I've already got a run ashore. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like the drafts, this draft took what? 20 minutes? Did I look away and get a card? No. We even got a sideboard card. Cool. 5-color monstrosity was an 0-2. Was my attempt at a fragile setup jug. Fair enough. All right, we'll let you guys do Stream Raiders. I'll readjust and we'll play out the games. Captain Spells was a relatively new addition, which I think is pretty cool. Adam with the kills, even with the assists. Rewards for Heim, Kackman, Spoiler, and Bragg. And I think we've ended up with a deck I'm pretty happy with. Mr. Rogers was great. Everyone should love Mr. Rogers. Boop. Let's get this monitor adjusted just a little bit. I think getting an actual standing desk will be a big level up. Big oo level up oo. This kind of screams giants, doesn't it? Let's do that. 9/8 looks good to me too. Because we need the blue to cycle through the deck. I think this deck has a plan. It is not the best plan I've ever seen, but it's a solid plan. The captain spells came in today's update. They are not unique to different streamers, but we can choose which ones we'd like to unlock. Which is neat. Standing desk and a treadmill, maybe. Medium to medium plus, we'll take it. I mean, that last deck I had was absurd, and then I bumped into somebody playing all the land destruction spells. It's like, what? I don't think you can really prepare for that. We don't have any Behold the Multiverses. I think blue-red was open. I don't think blue was, which is kind of a weird spot to have ended up in. Yeah, I think we're ready to just play out a 2-4 here. Mr. Rogers did a lot of good for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. Behold, the power of Bergstriding. I have not seen the movie yet. I would like to. I imagine it's pretty good. So they can get Narfi back eventually, but not right now. I kind of feel incentivized to kill it. But I suppose we wait and see what they do first. I think I'm going to fire it off now and see what happens. They're going to gain 2 life, get back a poison the cup. So we probably don't want to be running out Cinderheart Giants anytime soon. It's almost worth just directly squashing. I think I could get some value through this, potentially. Well, they're going to get the horse back, but if they're getting the horse back, they're not getting poison the cup, right? So, like... I think this is the best value I can get off of Crush the Weak. And I feel like they're probably in a scenario now where they're thinking, I'll get my horse back, and I can actually handle the horse. They're going to get poison the cup, sure. Oh, good grief. This is going to get ugly. They've built the Saga deck I tried to build last time I was playing. Hey, Ryan, thank you for the raid. Much appreciated, my friend. Y'all spam some cats for Ryan. Glad to have y'all here. I hope your stream went well, sir. They're just telling some stories over there. I wonder what they foretold. Yeah, me too. Me too. I had what I thought was an amazing deck and just got ranched by land destruction. It's like, what? I got wrecked by a deck that was playing basically nothing but the 4-mana land destruction spell, tons of them, giants to bring them back, and strategic planning to go find them. It's like, what? I'd never seen that before, but I'm definitely appreciating what they were doing. It's just stupid. I couldn't help but smile and laugh as I was losing. Is it though, Rusty? I guess the upside is you're picking cards nobody else wants, so you're going to get 200 of them, but that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I don't remember the name of the opponent. So they still have Poison the Cup in their hand. No, but they're going to get it back. This is all miserable. This is all miserable. I don't know how I'm supposed to beat this. I'm probably not supposed to beat this. Because they're going to get back another... I guess I'm supposed to beat this by they decide to kill the Bloodline Predator, but I don't know why they would. I've wanted to build this deck so many times, looping Sagas and Scalds, and I've just never been able to get it to come together, as well as what they've done here. It's a good idea to win. Fair. Neat. I guess we play around a Skull Raid. We got that going for us. What are y'all's thoughts on the format? Is this a good one? Is this a bad one? Do we love it? Do we hate it? Where are we at? Because I'm like, am I supposed to be going back and doing Chaos drafts now? It feels too early. That's kind of where I'm at too. I got tired of Zendikar. This is probably about as good as this is going to get, right? Because I still think getting them to use that Poison the Cup before we play the Giant is a good start. And this should get them to... Nope, they have a Frostbite too. Okie dokie. That's fair, sir. Some people enjoy that kind of thing a lot. Like, now I have to play this just to try to kill something. There's so much card advantage. Like, this is just game over, yeah? For color, no fixing, no problem. I have found that there have been some problems. Yeah, they've got some pretty good fixing from what I can tell. If this is a draft set for people that don't like draft, I don't think so. It doesn't feel like it's that on rails. I mean, Modern Magic has shifted into you can just sort of play what you want, right? Spin to win! That was not winning. Question is, what's wrong with that? It makes people who enjoyed drafting the old way and developed a skill set feel like there's nothing they can do, right? Like if not drafting what's open. So if drafting what's open is the correct way to draft, then everybody that's developed that skill will be like, hey, I'm great at Magic. This is neat. Gotcha. But if that's just a skill that's irrelevant now, then that's a problem for old farts like me. Well, sure, John. Like, you could say that we're lowering the skill of it, but like, maybe we're just changing it to a different skill. And that's either a skill that I will decide to develop or I'll go play something else, right? And I'm not even entirely sure that that's what's going on here. So basically, if we can stop them from drawing Nico Defies Destiny, we could win. But we're not going to stop them from drawing Nico Defies Destiny. This deck is absurd. I legitimately don't know how to beat it. Because one counterspell isn't even enough. I think what we need is a counterspell and an Undersea Invader. I think the flash on this will actually matter. And I need to make sure I'm playing cards that like do interact with what they're doing. Because like, I don't know that this Thought Thief matters that much. I certainly don't like Crush the Weak. It kills more of my stuff than theirs. We did not see a Necromancer, but it wouldn't surprise me if they had it. Like, they had a great deck. Craven Hulk's just pure upside. They're not looking to block, like, they're not blocking anything. Like, taking out the Necromancer, if I take out the Thought Thief, Frostbite doesn't kill anything unless they have snow, right? Other than the Ravager, which I think we still play. So just something that doesn't die to Frostbite might be okay here. Like maybe a Yeti. We could consider something, like I don't think it's entirely crazy to think about Raven form for that saga. Well, let's give this a spin. Disdainful for Scald? It's possible. It doesn't work on sagas? I'm glad I didn't bring it in. Okay. Some potential is here. I thought it was permanent. It ain't though, is it? Flexibility is an underutilized skill, agree. Then we can try an experiment and try a couple of drafts where we're forcing things and see how that works out. Your library, that one. Did I play 32 cards? I didn't mean to. It's entirely possible that I did. Well, that's awkward. Because now kind of all I want is another giant. That's a little greedy. Because I could just Bergstride it and not... Yeah, I should probably just do that. Like, this turns off the card. Yeah, but in pod play, I'm just not a fan. I like playing the game, not waiting. So why wouldn't we play this? I guess because then they can get in with that, but this just seems like... I guess I'm not really getting a mana advantage there. I could play this dude, equip it up, have a blocker. I could also just go with this, play the Invasion of the Giants. This is 2 to equip, right? Yeah, that uses all of my mana. I think I'm pretty good with that. Double Kinseeker isn't crazy either, but like... This gives me more another threat, which I think I'm relatively happy with. Stuck on blue, but that's okay. Are you forcing things, John? Or trying to draft what's open? And I hear what you guys are saying, that in pod play would be better. It's just that waiting is not enjoyable to me. That's fair too, Dave. I also prefer that, Zach. Mildly force things and avoid snow like the plague. You avoid good archetype and don't like the format. Gotcha. Zach, be nice. So we would just Kinseekers here, flash in the giant. I don't need the discount on the giant. I don't mind having a counterspell coming up. Because I might actually be able to beat that. I think I've been doing that too, Trunoki. I think I've definitively been doing that. You have been invaded from under the seas. Ultimately, this set is just awful. I don't think it's awful. I don't think it's awful. We're not as likely to get good results. What did they get? Did they get the Cosmos Elixir? It's bizarre. They're also running Bind the Monster in a deck with Tegrid's Shadow, so there's a little Nombo we might be able to take advantage of. Go on, Smashing Success. I don't feel like it. What is this accent? Mine? This is a Central North Carolina accent in the United States. That's a good one, Zach. You can cut a color. We're not bringing it in for that, because they will eventually draw more of the color. If you go to somewhere like Raleigh or Sanford, you'll hear people that talk like me. I actually grew up in Sanford, or Wilmington, but my parents are from Sanford, which is presumably where I got my accent. That is not where I live now. I'm in Northern Virginia now. A Disdainful Stroke does actually hit a lot. I probably want one. I don't know that I want to be playing 2 counter spells when I'm also playing 7 drops. This is such a nice answer for their dude. Yeah, I need the extra cards so we can win. Let's trim the Yeti. Let's trim the Bergstrider, and let's trim one of these. I think this is where I want to be. Thank you, Orcish. I don't think I would have noticed. So this needs to be turned 3 to hit this guy, right? So that's not actually what we're looking to do immediately. We'd also need to hit another red, but we have a few ways to try to make that happen. I don't know that turn 5 Cinderheart Giant is enough to win this game, but we'll certainly try for it. Do I just want to cycle this Rune of Flight? I kind of do right now. The only downside would be if I draw my Demon Bolt. But I want to invade the giants. Why would you do it that way? I guess it doesn't matter. I do get the scry off of the invasion. I'm nervous about running this fella out naked, because we know they have not that many creatures. But this is getting a little awkward because I do need to hit the lands now, but I also need to not be under this much pressure, so... Bleh. I now do want the scry off of it. I really wanted to kill it with the squash. That's not that crazy. I want both of those, I think. So am I supposed to squash that now? No. I don't think I am. Meh, I am. Because I can Arcanist next turn and get it back. Well, I can Arcanist in a future turn and get it back. So this would leave me 2, which is not enough to do anything. They can currently already get back Narfi, but I mean, this does at least block it. It probably just gets fed though, right? Man, this is super awkward. I could play this into the other giant. That just sets us up to get wrecked by Tagrid's Shadow. God, it's so tough to know which card to play around from them. They can't play Tagrid's Shadow yet. They would need another land. I think I like Undersea Invader into Frostpire, or I thought I could do this too, but I couldn't. I'm bad. Don't judge me. But I can get this back and squash in the same turn, and also start presenting 5 in the air. It wasn't what I thought I was doing, but I think it was actually the right call. They can shadow now, but I'll get to keep the 5/6. Or the 2/5 if that's what I want. So now we're down to them dealing me 1 point of damage a turn, and we're going to start connecting for 7 a turn, we hope. Is there any reason for me not to attack with this? I don't think there is. Because if they could just if they're able to kill the giant, we're just going to lose the game anyway. It's not like I can profitably block it with that. Alright, so I need to deal 4 points of damage with this and get around Narfi shenanigans. This is not likely to work. And this gives +1/+1 as well, so we may as well do that. I need to do this on their turn so they don't just get it back. Yeah, but I need to do 12 points of damage next turn. I don't know where we're getting 12 points of damage. Like, realistically, 13 points of damage. Because currently I have to block that. Which I guess we can do here. I think I still gotta go. If they got a removal spell, again, I'm mostly dead. Or if they top deck one. But this is, I think, our only line to actually win. Unless we could do 10 next turn. Can we do 10 next turn? No, I have to block that. We can't do 10 next turn. Good thing is they don't have that much mana. They're limited to infinite mana of every color. They can crack the tree. That gets a changeling or a god. Oh, oh, oh. That sucks. Let us rate a stream. Where are... Alright, we got our ranged duders here. Maybe we can win this. I remember people talking about that a long time ago. I don't remember if that was actually a thing or not. Adam with the kills, Dave with the assists, rewards for Shades, Alex, and Unglued. Was it something they actually considered? I don't think I knew that. Links are not allowed here. You can put them in Discord, though. Or if you really want something in chat, you can message it to a mod and they can post the link. Would you consider Dogged Pursuit good there? Yes. If they brought it in from their sideboard, absolutely. I've brought it in from the sideboard a lot. I say a lot. I haven't brought it in a lot. I've brought it in some. Mainly against decks that I didn't think could kill me very quickly. Or that could deal with it. So like that was kind of the perfect situation for it. You're already splashing black and you're against a blue-red deck that kind of can't really get rid of it. What you talking about, Ice? Oh, GG's. I have emotes turned off. Kind of just want to flash in this charger into turn. Yeah, chat was asking me what I thought of the pursuit, and I'm like, in that scenario, I really like it. I can get a discount by foretelling this now, right? This is how this works. What can I do with the mana? Functionally nothing, because I'm going to kill that, right? I guess I could crown and let them get the first hit in, but I'm not really interested in that. I could just play the Kinseekers. I think I'm okay with that. Like, they're either throwing it away to fix themselves, or they're going to use a removal spell on a 2/4. That's fine. Or they're going to make my removal spell better when I cast it. All of that works for me. It's actually a Kaldheim island. The basics for this set do look pretty good. I was gonna say hitting a land there would be really, really nice, but we didn't. I think we just suck it up and kill the darn thing. I like the Bob Ross lands too, but I mean, everybody will have their favorite lands. I like bolus lands. Y'all probably figured that. It does, but I can't functionally do anything with the mana, and they could counter it. So I really don't want to deal with that. That ain't coming back anytime soon. Really hard to know what we're up against there, so the sideboard decisions are a little bit more difficult to make. Like previously we wanted counter spells and undersea invaders. I don't really know, and like the Craven Hawk. But I don't know that that's necessarily the case now. I didn't see enough to make any intelligent decisions. That was the one, Lego, you're talking about the one from Kaldheim. There is no enchantment hate in red-blue. Yeah, this is, I think this is the one you're talking about. It's pretty dang cool. You reckon that's gonna get any better? Because I'm kind of thinking it might not. But I'll give it one more turn. They did show me that 3/2 green dude. I've never seen the... Well, I saw a bright flash when I lived in Wilmington that people told me was related to the Aurora. I don't know for sure if it actually was or not. That needs to die. That needs to die before I put anything else on this board. No. I remember what it was. I suspect that if we go back and research, I can find the articles. Because they were telling me it was something that pushed the aurora down and that it was aurora style effects. I love astronomy. I know what meteors look like. I've watched Transformers blow up. This was neither of those things. I'm so scared to play out this Cosmos Charger. Because I really just need that bloody thing dead. I'm close personal friends with Optimus Prime. I don't know how you can think Transformers aren't real. It's just not reasonable. It's just not a reasonable take, Zach. You should totally name your dog Optimus Prime. In the end, you butted yourself. Oh, come on. We didn't even get to the good stuff. Dude, when Prowl got shot in the mouth... Sorry, spoilers. If you haven't watched the Transformers animated movie, it will mess with you. Also, Starscream was my favorite character. And his character arc in that movie was somewhat disturbing. Yes, that was the one. That was the one. And Leonard Nimoy as Galvatron. I liked Starscream because he had the ideas that would have actually worked. Have you heard of the band Cybertronic Spree? I have not. Everybody died. Like all of the hero, like you'd watch this cartoon where basically everybody was a stormtrooper and they couldn't hit anybody, right? Like they have battles, they fire guns at each other, but none of them ever hit. Every once in a while somebody gets shot in the shoulder and it's like, ow, that hurts. But that's really the extent of it. And then you take that and go to this movie where all of a sudden everybody dies. You can post it in Discord or message it to a mod. I want to kill something with this, potentially. I may just go face with it now, though. Like, they need to do something. They're sitting there with a counterspell. Like, imagine they're sitting there on Disdainful Stroke and, like, I'll get back in this game. How disheartening would it be if I just sit here and pump this Mistwalker until they die? They also think I have one now and scooped to it. Dare to be stupid. So all we really know... I guess after looking through this, I can say I don't know much, but I know I love you. Do we want smashing success or no? I did not see enough to know. What's up, Krishna? I think you can watch the entirety of the Transformers animated movie on YouTube. I know for sure you could at least 5 years ago because I did. Well, heck yeah. I hope you have fun at your festival. What's the festival about? Y'all celebrating something? Or remembering something? Chair on fire? Exclamation point Discord. If you got a picture of the Northern Lights, put it right in general, because I'd like to see it too. I have not. We tried watching, dude. Okay, get in my Discord and look at that picture. That's beautiful. We tried watching Electric Dreams, which is bad Black Mirror, and we tried watching through the Tales from the Loop, which is like sad Black Mirror. I mean, Optimus Prime was pretty thick. Yeah, the first episode got me. The second one, I was like, maybe this is going somewhere. And so some people will remember this and some won't. I'm going to tell you something scandalous. When I was a child, I was not allowed to watch horror movies. But what my parents didn't know was that I had a black and white television, and late at night on Fridays, Friday the 13th, the TV series came on. And I knew I wasn't supposed to watch it, so I wanted to. And it was pretty terrible. The idea was there was like these bad artifacts or whatever, and Jason's mask was one of them, but they didn't ever talk about that. So the show was some clueless person finds one of these bad artifacts, bad things happen to them, and then at the end of the show, somebody shows up and takes it away. So some of the episodes of Tales from the Loop were basically that. Here's a weird artifact that'll mess you up. Now you're messed up, and now we're taking it away. Like, oh, okay, that was the show? I was watching that 30 years ago. Yeah, I think I was like 12 when I was watching it, maybe. And sure, I could see it being scary. Man, we really outskilled them there. So that was our YouTube draft today. So if you're watching on YouTube, basically do what I do, and you can always get at least a 2-1, I guess. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube. Like, that wasn't great, but we got there. Yeah, that's a good example. There was a quilt that killed people when they slept in it. Like, you'd think you'd figure that out after a while, but apparently they didn't. All right, see you later, YouTube. Come by the stream sometime if you want to see a draft that's a little better than that one. We have some of them now and then. You can do that at twitch.tv/Semulin. We'll see y'all next time.